Good afternoon and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. More than 10 hours of rain have caused flooding in different sectors of the island, which has generated emergencies in different homes.
The rainy season has officially started and it has been raining for more than 10 hours, which has caused flooding in different sectors of the island. The most affected are Natania, Serranía, Backroad Schoolhouse, North End, Cantera, San Juan 23. Therefore, the inhabitants have not been able to sleep as they have had to remove the water from their homes, trying to avoid losing their belongings, a very complex task due to the heavy rains that continue to fall on the islands.
Unfortunately, this heavy downpour has flooded some houses in our sector, and we have a house that was affected by Hurricane Iota and has no roof. I request the support of the Risk Management Unit to collaborate us as soon as possible to put the roof on this house. At the same time, we need the support of the Secretariat of Mobility to help us divert vehicles entering this sector.
The road was closed to prevent water from continuing to enter the houses, so they are asking for solidarity with the affected community.
When we close the road, it is usually because the water is already at the point where it has reached its maximum. We are aware that all the roads are completely flooded, but I want you to understand us, since it is an emergency, and this is in order to prevent water from entering the houses.
The president of the Natania Community Action Board requests the departmental government to expedite the construction of the pluvial drainage system as soon as possible.
I am requesting that the national and local governments expedite the construction of the pluvial sewage system. Today, many neighborhoods on the islands are completely flooded, and there are many homes that have lost everything at this moment.
So far, the authorities have not provided figures on the number of people affected by the floods.
And at this hour, we're live on a phone call with Port Captain Marco Antonio Castillo, who will give us information about the meteorological conditions in the department. Captain, good afternoon, and thank you very much for attending Teleislas News. Strong and continuous rains are experienced in the archipelago. What are the current meteorological conditions?
Buenos días, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Lisa. Cordial greetings to all of our viewers and to the people who are listening to us today. Well, today we are presenting a total cloud sky. There is heavy rainfall on the island of San Andres. We have an ambient temperature that is ranging between 26 and 27 degrees, and we are checking winds between 12 and 14 knots. Force 4, according to the News 4 scale. Probably during the course of the week, these conditions may be maintained as product of a low pressure center that is being located at 60 degrees north, and that we believe will surely be maintained during the next 2 or 3 days.
And in this case, then, do we rule out any tropical storm or cyclonic activity at sea?
De acuerdo con el Centro Nacional de Reportes de Huracanes.
According to the NOAA's National Hurricane Reporting Center, we have no report of cyclonic activity in the wider Caribbean. Therefore, we are not registering the presence of a possible tropical storm. As I told you, we are evidencing the positioning of a low-pressure center located southwest of the Greater Caribbean. And as a result of this interaction of a low-pressure center located in the North Atlantic, it is causing the winds to intensify, and there is greater concentration of cloudiness, and that is what is going to be happening. That participations will be occurring during this week.
So will maritime activities remain restricted?
Toca estar haciendo una evaluación de manera.
An assessment has to be made on a daily basis to the atmospheric ocean conditions, depending on how things move along. The Port Captaincy and the Control Tower Station are making the recommendation for the issue of maritime activity at sea. For the time being, we invite all the Maritime Guild and people in general, to the tourists who visit us during these days, to abide by the recommendations of the Port Captaincy of San Andres in order to safeguard human life at sea.
We thank the Port Captain Marco Antonio Castillo with the report of the most recent meteorological conditions to be taken into account by inhabitants of the archipelago, where rains persist since last night. And in Teleislas News, we will follow up the news development associated with the rains.
Desde marzo del 2020, 72.182 familias económicamente afectadas por el COVID-19 se beneficiaron con alivios financieros. El Fondo Nacional del Ahorro nos mueve lo que sueñas.
And in other local news, the fire commander gives a report on the emergency due to the floods and therefore gives recommendations to keep in mind regarding the heavy rains that occur in the department.
Fighter Commander Willie Gordon released the official report of the flooded sectors in light of the heavy rains that are occurring.
La verdad es que sobre el
The truth about the department is that it has rained torrentially in the last 10 hours. It has not been easy. We have many flooded sectors at the moment. For example, we can talk about Schoolhouse, Juan 23, Natania, Serranía, which are currently underwater, as well as some roads downtown. However, we can tell the community that all the pumps that the department has installed are working.
The departmental government has installed 7 pumping substations which are working, but to see the roads cleared, it is necessary to wait for the rain to stop.
Pero mientras no deje de llover,
As long as it doesn't stop raining, the island will continue to be flooded. After 4 hours after the rain stops, the roads will be accessible again. At this moment, we have received several calls, but there is nothing to regret. For this reason, we must highlight the community leaders of the different sectors such as Natania, Serranía, and Back Road.
The fire commander provides recommendations.
los líderes comunales
Community leaders should have the entire water collection system clean. They should not take out garbage when the truck is not going to pass. The houses that have canals should be clean. They should be clean.
And in the facilities of the department's police command, the ceremony to honor the work done by patrol officers who travel the main streets of the archipelago was held.
65,000 patrolmen from all over the country were honored today, May 16, for their first 6 years of seniority, as well as for their behavior and professionalism within the police institution. In the archipelago, the ceremony was held at the department's police headquarters. In San Andres, 244 executive-level patrolmen of the National Police received their first award. This recognition is obtained due to their first 6 years within the police institution. With a symbolic and economic incentive, the police seeks to highlight professionalism among its officers. The ceremony was held simultaneously with all the police commands of the country. In the archipelago, during the protocol ceremony, the Secretary of Government, Kayan Howard, the Ombudsman, Delroy Gordon, the Commander of SESIP, Hernando Matos Taher, as well as relatives of the officers were present. 244 patrolmen in San Andres were honored, but only 44 officers were present during the ceremony due to their duties with the institution.
And the Environmental Corporation of our department informed the community in general that they should be aware of the sale of admission tickets to Johnny Key that were taken out of circulation.
Carolina, through the administration of Johnny Key Regional Park, would like to inform the community in general, travel agencies and tourist service providers to refrain from buying or selling admission ticket to the park with the consecutive numbers that appear on the screen. These tickets are not valid for use. At the same time, they announce that if you notice that someone is selling them, please report it to the line 5131 130 from Monday to Friday or line 123 of the National Police. This announcement is made after it became known that people were falsifying entrance ticket to the regional park. In this regard, Carolina's director said,
We have already initiated the filing of a criminal complaint to find the intellectual and material authors of such forgery, which is a crime, and we will go to the ultimate consequences.
Now we continue with other events that are making news today in our brief news section.
The Raisal Families and Residents Program of the Secretariat of Social Development was at the Infotep conducting a workshop on strengthening self-esteem for the celebration of Mother's Day, and in this space were dictated courses of makeup and self-care. A new edition of the traditional global Big Day, the most important bird watching event in the world, was held this Saturday, May 14th, as part of the commemoration of World Migratory Bird Day. In the Department of San Andres, a group of bird lovers gathered at the Botanical Garden to document the most relevant findings of migratory species. The seniors of the clubs and fraternities held this weekend in the sector of St. Louis a recreational workshop where they practice different physical activities, this with the purpose of promoting healthy practices and habits. The seniors also shared the breakfast as well as moments of relaxation.